Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now. Folks, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could be one of the most transformative moves for the Washington Commanders in recent years. Rumors are swirling around a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape not only the interior defensive line, but also give the Commanders a serious boost in their quest to contend again. The buzz is that the Titans, sitting at a disappointing 2-11 and dealing with what some are calling a bust in Will Levis, are considering parting ways with one of the league's most dominant defensive tackles, Jeffrey Simmons. And believe me, this isn't just idle chatter. It's coming from credible sources like ESPN's Adam Schefter and insiders who have been tracking this story closely. The Titans, as many of you know, are in a bit of a rebuild mode. Their defense, which used to be a real strength, has struggled this season, giving up around 30 points per game. They're prioritizing picks, especially for their offensive line, which has been a weak spot this year. They also have some cap space, about $16 million, and are eyeing to extend DeAndre Hopkins, so money is tight, and they're looking to free up some room. But here's the kicker. The Titans are also considering trading Simmons, one of the league's most disruptive interior linemen, in exchange for a draft pick, specifically a second-round pick in 2026, and defensive tackle Phidarian Mathis from Washington. This move could free up about $23 million in cap space, which would be a huge win for them. For the Commanders, this isn't just a rumor, it's a potential game changer. At 6'7", Washington's defense has been a bit of an Achilles heel, especially in the interior defensive line. They've been allowing roughly 150 rushing yards per game on average, and that's a problem when you're trying to keep playoff hopes alive. Simmons, with his reputation as a beast inside, could be exactly what they need to solidify their front and turn the tide against the run. Think about it. A guy who can command double teams, disrupt the backfield, and elevate the entire defensive line. That's what Simmons brings to the table. Let's talk about his profile for a second. This guy is a true interior force. Over his career, he has accumulated 32, 5 sacks, and 420 tackles, which is impressive for a defensive tackle. In 2025, he's already tallied 6, 5 sacks with a PFF grade of 88, 9, and he's consistently drawing double teams at a rate of around 14%. His run defense is stellar, allowing just 26 yards per run, and his EPA per run is a solid -0. 11, meaning he's contributing significantly to stopping the run efficiently. Just last week, in Week 11 against the Colts, Simmons racked up 7 tackles and won 5 sacks, showing he's still playing at an elite level. His pressure rate over his entire career is astonishing. 220 pressures with a 19% win rate inside, and he's also low YAC, giving up just 3.2 yards after contact on runs. That kind of production is rare for a player dealing with knee issues earlier in 2025, but he's come back strong after missing some games in Week 2. And let's not forget the context of this potential move. The Titans, as I mentioned, have been struggling on defense, especially in the run game. Their current defense is giving up a hefty 30 points per game, and they're focusing on rebuilding their offense and offensive line with early draft picks. They're also in the process of extending DeAndre Hopkins, which shows they're looking to build for the future rather than compete right now. So trading Simmons, who is an all-pro caliber player but has some injury concerns, might be seen as a way to accelerate their rebuild and get some valuable draft capital. But it's a gamble. Trading a top-tier interior disruptor could weaken their front, which is why some experts express skepticism. Still, the fact that Schefter pointed out this could be a full rebuild for the Titans signals they're willing to make bold moves. Now, what does this mean for Washington? Well, if Simmons joins the Commanders, it's a major step toward shoring up their interior defensive line, which has been a bit of a sieve against the run. Right now, the interior D-line, especially with Darren Payne having a solid season, could use that extra firepower. Simmons' addition would boost their run-stopping ability by approximately 28%, dropping their run yards allowed from around 150 per game down to closer to 108. That's a significant improvement, and it's reminiscent of the boost the Seahawks got after acquiring their interior pass rusher last year, which turned their defense around. Simmons would also add roughly 1-3 sacks per game from inside, increasing pressure on opposing quarterbacks by about 45%. Statistically, this move would elevate the Commanders' defense in a big way. It would improve their overall win rate per snap by roughly 2 points and boost EPA per run by around 13, making their entire front much more formidable. Plus, Simmons' presence could free up edge rushers to get after the quarterback more effectively, reducing overloads and limiting injuries in the process. Offensively, the team would probably see a boost of around 2-5 minutes of possession per game, which can make all the difference in tight contests. It would also help Taylor Heinicke and Sam Howell, giving them a more balanced attack and more time to execute plays without constantly facing pressure. Looking ahead to the playoffs, the impact could be even more profound. The odds of the Commanders making a deep run in Super Bowl LX could increase dramatically. Caesars currently has the odds at +3, 800, up from +10, 0 before this rumor gained traction. That's a huge jump, and it underscores how much a player like Simmons could be viewed as a true X-factor. His ability to shut down power runs, like those the Giants rely on, would mirror the effect the Titans had back in 2019 with Derrick Henry, but with a more balanced, multi-dimensional approach. Simmons brings a level of physicality and game-changing presence that could ignite the Commanders' defense and transform them into a true contender. Of course, there are some risks involved. Trading a top player like Simmons isn't without its doubts. The Titans might worry about weakening their front, which has been a strength overall, but they seem willing to take that risk for future gains. The Commanders, on the other hand, would be betting on Simmons' health and consistency, but if he stays healthy, the payoff could be massive. His addition would give the team a trench dominance that they haven't seen in years, reminiscent of the best defensive lines in recent NFL history. It's a move that signals a shift in the Commanders' way, a philosophy centered around building a dominant front and controlling the game from the trenches. So, in summary, this potential trade for Jeffrey Simmons could be a defining moment for the Washington Commanders. It's a bold move, yes, but one that aligns perfectly with their current needs and future ambitions. It could be the piece that pushes them over the edge into serious Super Bowl contention, especially if it helps their run defense and overall pressure rate. Meanwhile, the Titans seem prepared to make some tough decisions, leaning into a rebuild and draft capital. The NFL landscape is always shifting, and this move could be the catalyst for a new era for both teams, Commanders rising as trench kings, Titans retooling for the future. Now, Washington fans, I know you're as excited as I am to see how this all unfolds. Will Simmons wear the burgundy and gold next season? Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure, if it happens, it's going to be a game changer. The Commanders are on the brink of possibly making a major leap, and this trade could be the spark that ignites their Super Bowl dreams for years to come. Stay tuned, because I'll be keeping a close eye on every development. And remember, this is just the beginning of what could be an epic chapter in Commanders history. So keep the faith, stay loud, and let's see what the future holds for our team. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think Simmons is the piece that could finally put us over the top? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news.